Going on, dudes and dudettes? Had a little bit of downtime before having to head out for some holiday Christmas Eve celebration, so I want to get this video up and out before then. So yes, the safety Bullock of USC officially declared for the NFL the other day. I don't know if he's still going to be playing in the Holiday Bowl this Wednesday, but either way, he's going to be heading towards the NFL draft no matter what, so good luck to him. Seen him projected second, third round. Could even drop farther just because of how great he was his freshman year compared to the last 2 years. But we'll have to wait and see. It would have been even crazier for him to come back and how good that defense would have looked for him just being a roaming free safety. But either way, good luck to him. He's been one of the better ones out there from Pasadena. And yes, congrats to him. And then USC did make a couple of these transfers official signings. I think even though they said they committed and were heading to USC, they still had to sign like the early National Signing Day guys. So only a handful of the guys did it. The long snapper, Hank Pepper, did it. Linebacker from Oregon State, Easton Mascarenas Arnold. Defensive end for Vanderbilt, Nate Clifton. And the defensive end, Nate Clifton. And the defensive back, Kamari Ramsey from UCLA. So the other guys are still semi-pending unless they're busy doing holiday stuff, or I don't know. We'll have to wait and see when they become official, but you all will be the first to know when that does happen. And then a guy who's been around for like 4 or 5 years now, Max Williams, his brother, just the other day did commit from St. John Bosco to USC. It's pretty cool, and we thought they were going to be able to maybe play at least 1 year together because sadly Max, his older brother, has missed time because of injuries and having a redshirt a couple years. So he still had maybe another season left if he wanted to come back for USC, but it kind of looks like as of right now that he said that this Holiday Bowl on Wednesday will be his last game, and I guess he's just going to take the chance because he does not want to take another chance in college to get hurt once again and really mess up his NFL future and not at least get paid while you're injured, like how a lot of these guys still wish and hope for when you at least make it to the NFL. You know, you have that security if you do go down with that contract. So wishing him the best, and I know he will be playing in this Holiday Bowl as his final game, so hoping he balls out, as they say. And Max Preps recently named their Player of the Year, and of course it went to USC commit in 2026, the quarterback Julian Lewis. So it's pretty obvious how talented this guy is and what he was able to do as a true sophomore in high school in that division in Georgia, in that high school area. So yeah, this guy is definitely a real one. Hopefully he still stays committed, and like I said, hopefully he does graduate early and come in the 2025 class and not 26. So looking forward to that. And then when it came to a running back from Florida recently transferring to Georgia, Trevor Etienne, I kind of wondered if that would make Nathaniel Frazier, who went to Mater Dei out here in Orange County, the 5-star running back who did commit. And I don't know if he officially signed early or not to Georgia these past couple of days, the last couple of days of the week. But if he did or did not, I know USC for some reason wasn't really on his list. I know he had like Nebraska, Alabama. He did a lot of visits to other places like that. But if USC had to at least pay one guy in high school, which a lot of these teams are doing now, then this would definitely be the guy, especially set up nice for your future to have a 5-star running back there. I know it did not work out with the last 5-star from Mater Dei, Malik Brown, but that's not his fault. He's kind of slight for his frame to play a running back 100% in my opinion. So him playing that other gadget type of receiver, maybe taking sweep arounds and all that stuff in the backfield, that's more of his game, but he just did not want to commit to that at USC and burn this year apparently. But he's on Arizona State, and I don't know. Like I said, this is just a maybe. It's not like Frazier has said anything officially. I think he even posted an image of him hanging out with Georgia gear on still, just within the last day or two once this transfer did happen. So looking to see if some bit of news comes out of this guy, some rumors, if he does end up wanting a change of scenery after them adding a guy as a transfer in his position. And yes, as I mentioned earlier, USC is playing this Wednesday coming up in the Holiday Bowl, their final one down there in San Diego. And yeah, it should be okay matchup. The quarterback is either good or bad that they're playing against in Louisville, and USC is missing a bunch of guys due to the transfer portal, and a lot of guys graduating and getting ready for the NFL draft. So it could be a pretty interesting team. A lot of guys that we never really heard of, and this is actually like the one time you can play freshmen and all these guys who did sit out to get a redshirt year. You could play them, and it does not count towards that 4-game limit. So we'll see a bunch of guys out there, hopefully a lot of the young guys too, and see what they can do. But definitely looking forward to this matchup coming up Wednesday. And I believe it was the other day, Thursday or Friday, Texas quarterback transfer Maalik Murphy decided to pick Duke as his next school and next destination. So that's obviously a pretty cool get for them, and definitely heading in the right direction for them as well, since their signing class, at least this early part of the signing day, did not go as they planned. But at least they got one of the big-time transfers, and maybe that's a snowball effect, a tumbleweed effect, where other guys want to transfer to play with a very talented player out of California as well. So definitely looking forward to see who else Duke can get. And yes, they did play Saturday in their Birmingham Bowl against Troy, and were able to barely get that victory, 17-10. At times, they looked like the way better team and had Troy under control, but then Troy scored pretty much those 10 points in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. And they were going down, but I think Duke ended up picking them off to end the game officially, which was nice. But yeah, it was kind of interesting to see a lot of guys, even Jordan Waters, the running back for Duke, who said he was transferring to North Carolina State, I believe, and some other guys too that are transferring out still did play in this game, which is pretty cool. Obviously, that you would still want them to come back and not officially transfer out, but either way, at least got the one last chance to see them before they go to rivals or other places like that. But yeah, even like a lot of the guys going into the NFL, the seniors, it was pretty cool to see them in their final game and step up. And the other day, before their Saturday game against the Bills, the Chargers did release defensive tackle Sebastian Joseph Day. I'm assuming it was kind of in due to, that was like Brandon Staley's main guy, his main free agent that he brought in a couple years ago when he became the head coach and was trying to turn around this defense. It was pretty good that first year, but Day kind of, his play definitely went down quite a bit from then with injuries and just not being consistent enough. So I guess they decided to let him go now. I don't know if it's cheaper or not for them to do that, to agree to some type of buyout maybe. And then he's able to go and sign with some other team, a more like a contending team most likely. And we'll see where he goes. But either way, get some of these old guys out. He was most likely going to be a cap casualty, as they call it, when March and April comes around for them to try to save money. So either way, he now gets to choose where he wants to go and then sign a new contract most likely when he's a free agent after this season. And then, yes, as I mentioned, they did play the Bills yesterday on Saturday. Luckily, I was not able to watch it because I don't have Peacock anymore. And for some point, it was like 10-0 the Chargers. So I was like, oh, great. Like, are they really going to mess up their draft position and actually get a worse pick? But, yes, luckily, as in fashion as they do, they gave up the lead, gave up a late field goal, and then weren't able to come back and had enough turnovers and stuff. And luckily, I did not start Austin Eckler in my fantasy because he only had like 10 points, which is still pretty okay for him because of how bad he's been when I do play him. But luckily, I did not play him. And yeah, the team overall, it just looked pretty bad, especially not giving the quarterback stick enough chances to actually try to do something and make plays. And I think even with that loss, they are officially eliminated from the playoffs, even though that last loss against Denver, I think pretty much people did eliminate them from the playoffs, but I think now they are statistically and numerically out of the playoffs. So definitely trying to get a bit more losses here on the record to be able to get a nice pick, as I said, because I think at one point last week they were 5th because they had lost early on Thursday, and then they moved back up to 8 because of the other worst teams that kept losing as well. So they did improve. They went from 10 to 5 to 8 in a span of like 2 weeks. So like I said, we'll see where they are now after this weekend. But yeah, definitely looking forward to a better draft pick, hopefully. That's not only the first round, that's every single round you pick at that position in the next round too. So it's definitely beneficial in that sense. And then there was some pretty big college news that apparently there are rumors out there involving the Chargers and Coach Jim Harbaugh. Because, like I said, Michigan did offer him a pretty big contract. I think it's like a 10-year, $125 million extension or some type of contract like that. But there was a weird thing in the contract saying that he was able, if he is to sign it, he's not able to go and look for a new coaching opportunity in the NFL in 2024, which is pretty specific. But I think that's mainly because a team that he is really interested in the Chargers, are looking for a coach in that before that 2024 season, and they didn't. I guess they don't want him legally to sign that contract, get whatever money he first can, and then leave for the NFL and be able to keep that money and give back whatever is left owed on his thing because he didn't have it in the first place. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that they put it there. I don't think he did sign it officially yet or not, or if that underlying rumor of him not being able to go for a head coaching job in 2024 is real or not, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. And the other day, the Anaheim Ducks lost to the Calgary Flames 0-3. I forget if I mentioned that one or not, but I mentioned it now. Then last night they played against Seattle Kraken and lost 2-3. So once again, back in their losing ways. And bad news for Lakers fans. Gabe Vincent, one of their top free agent signings, he was coming back from an injury after a couple months, but now he's officially going to be out like 6 to 8 weeks and will require surgery to help out his knee, I believe. So that's another big blow for them. We'll see what they end up doing. They did play Oklahoma City and got that victory last night, 129-120. I think LeBron James had 40 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. And I believe he's the oldest player in NBA history with 40 points and shooting 100% from the three-point line as well. So he had a pretty awesome game. It looked good on my fantasy team as well. So definitely very excited they got this victory right ahead of their Christmas Day clash with that more hated Boston Celtics. So we'll see how that ends up going tomorrow on Monday on Christmas Day. So yeah, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great day. Bye. Fight on.